Hello and welcome. You're watching The Buck Stops Here and I'm Bakr-Id. Barely had the controversy over meat and politics settled down in Maharashtra and is still simmering there, has a new controversy erupted in Jammu and Kashmir. This after the Jammu and Kashmir High Court, responding to a public interest petition, said that the beef ban, a law that has been in place for more than 100 years, should be enforced strictly. It's now led to a political eruption, with the National Conference declaring that it will be placing a new legislation asking for this law in the Ranbir Penal Code. Remember, Jammu and Kashmir has its own penal code to be reversed. So is beef now on the political platter of Jammu and Kashmir? And unlike other states, are the stakes here, pun not intended, much higher? Are we playing with fire here, as separatists called for a boycott and a shutdown of the city in protest of this decision? Of course, the High Court is making the argument that this is already on the law books and no political party thought of questioning it up until now. Let's introduce our panel this evening. Joining us from the National Conference is Nasir Sogami. Nasir, of course, is drafting, one of the key draftsmen of that new legislation that will be asking for a change in the law that upholds the ban on beef. From the PDP, we're joined by its General Secretary, Rafi Ahmed Mir. Both of these leaders are joining us from Srinagar. From Jammu, we're joined by Arun Gupta, a leader of the BJP there. We're also joined by Anuradha Bhasin Jamwal, the executive editor of Kashmir Times. And with me here in the studio is Rashni Kher. He's a Kashmiri Pandit, but also a founder member of Roots in Kashmir. Let me start by asking you, Arun Gupta. This is a very possibly awkward situation for your government, because the petitioner who went to court is also a law officer of your government, of the BJP-PDP government, and he's also somebody who has been associated with the BJP's, one of the BJP's youth organizations. His father has been a prominent BJP leader. So does this mean that the state is standing by and the government is standing by his decision to go to court?
You see, Bakar, let me, you are aware of the fact, but let me take back to the history. This law is there before 1947.
Yes.
And RPC says so, and this is implemented even today also. This is applicable today also.
Yes.
Now, the problem is what court has said. Court has only said that this is law is there and you need to implement this more strictly. That's it.
But what
I don't think there is any confusion as far as...
Arunji, what was the need for the petition? I am aware that the law is a pre-independence law. I am aware that it was brought in by the Maharaja of the state. My question is, ye jo petitioner hai, who is currently the Deputy Advocate General of the state, Parmikosh Seth, as you know, he's the son of a prominent BJP leader. He's been a BJP youth leader himself. He's now a law officer of the government. Of your government, of this coalition government. So the question then becomes, does the government stand by his petition?
This petition has been going on for many years, you know, because he is what law officer he's become now.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say, this was in the court for much more time, and now this court has given the decision, and decision is just a clarification saying that this already is there. So there's no need, you know, this only needs to be implemented firmly.
Nasir, let me ask you, this is a law, as the BJP spokesperson points out, that has existed pre-independence. It's almost a century old. It was solidified further in 1932. Why has the National Conference, and you were in power for many years of this time period, never ever thought of repealing this law all this while? Aren't you just playing politics?
No, Barkha, it's not that. Let me give you a little background on this. Time and again, we have been saying that efforts have been made by this coalition government to divide the state on regional and communal lines. The very fact that the government failed totally to give a proper response to the PIL filed in the High Court, and the very fact that their own Deputy Advocate General is a petitioner in this PIL is an endorsement to our apprehensions. When you talk about this law, we all agree that it was in place for many years, but it was never enforced the way they want it to be enforced now. There was a social sanction to it, which both the communities agreed till now.
Okay. So you're saying, Nasir, that what has changed is the BJP and the PDP coming together, and you essentially see this as a BJP project. That's what you're accusing the BJP of, Nasir.
They have always been playing a friendly match between them. We don't blame one party. It's the total failure of the coalition government. PDP and BJP are equally responsible. What will be the fallout of what they are trying to do in the state?
Let me bring in Rafi Ahmed Mir of the PDP. Rafi Ahmed Mir, does this create a very difficult situation for the PDP? Because on the one hand, the petitioner in this case, as I said, has strong associations with the BJP. He's a law officer of your government. On the other hand, you may come from a completely different ideological and political position as your when compared to your partner. So how are you going to respond to the National Conference proposal to change the law?
Of course, as you rightly said, this situation is a little difficult. But I understand that we have more difficult problems and more important problems which we want to deal on priority. Your question was very relevant to my dear friend and colleague Mr. Nasir Sogami, that what did they do when they had a two-third majority at various times, and the tallest leader of the party was ruling the state, that Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah. Nothing of that sort was done.
But he's saying, Rafi, he's saying कि तब कोई इसको enforce ही नहीं करता था, except for when Jagmohan, in the reign of Jagmohan, and we'll talk about that. By and large, nobody enforced it.
It was. Yes, of course, you are right. In 1984, when there was Jagmohan was the governor of the state, it was again politicized at that moment in South Kashmir.
Yes.
And this time, I think the political parties who are planning to get a bill in the assembly and rest of the things, that is a matter of politics. But don't they understand?
Support this petitioner? But do you and the BJP together as partners support this petition to enforce this ban?
In fact, as you at the very beginning said, that this law has been there since times immemorial. This has been there before 1947 even, and this was going. In fact, I tell you, whenever a law is made, an ordinance issued or a bill is brought, it is brought in consultation with the people, society and the sections, so that everybody is carried along with.
But before I get
a law which is in books only, and that is not respected by the common people, which doesn't suit people. I don't think that is right.
Question to you,
time has gone.
But you haven't answered my question, Rafi, but I'll come back to you and ask it again. But Nasir Sogami, the National Conference has also asked for an ordinance before Bakr-Id. Why is this? I ask this as somebody who, loves Kashmir, knows Kashmir. No Kashmiri Muslim I know actually eats beef. No Kashmiri Muslim I know eats beef. It is not innate, it is not organic, in fact, to the culture and the cuisine. So why is it important for your party to ask for this ordinance?
See, Barkha, we are a multi-religious country. We are not a theocratic state.
Yes.
And we have to respect the religious sentiments of every community in our country. It is a religious obligation of Muslims to go for Qurbani on Bakr-Id.
Yes.
That we all agree.
Yes.
By banning this on Bakr-Id, don't you think you are going to create more problems? And my dear friend Mr. Rafi Mir was very much within our fold till very recent. He knows it that there was no need to either go for a PIL or change this law, because there was a social sanction to this law so far.
Yeah.
Only one time when this thing came up was during Jagmohan's time. And you remember what happened in his own district, Anantnag district.
Yes.
We know that this could have snowballed like it is going to snowball now. So why would we have unnecessarily raked this issue when we didn't need to repeal this act? Okay. Now that they have come, whether it is their sinister design or it is their incompetence, their own government is coming up with a law to enforce it strictly.
Okay.
Are they totally overlooking what is happening on ground? Don't they see people coming out and doing it with a vengeance? I don't justify that. That is also wrong. We have said that even the constitution of our country guarantees that the religious sentiments of every religion have to be respected.
Okay, let me get Anuradha and let me get Anuradha and Rashnik now. Anuradha, this is an interesting point because it's become less about whether eating beef is organic to the history of Jammu and Kashmir, which it clearly isn't. And it's become more about A, politics, and B, I guess, about perceptions of identity. And everybody, will remind you that in the Jagmohan years, Jagmohan actually attempted a ban on all slaughter on Janmashtami. And we had that famous incident where you had Qazi Nisar at the Lal Chowk saying that I'm going to slaughter sheep publicly. And what Nasir's...
he actually did it.
And he actually did it. And now his son is threatening to do the same. So, Anuradha, what are the implications?
And he was
arrested. Yes, I know. I'm aware he was arrested.
Put in the jail
Anuradha,
because he wanted to do it again.
Let Anuradha speak now and then Rashnik. Anuradha.
Sorry, what was the question? I couldn't hear.
What are the political implications of of this entire controversy?
The political implications are huge. At a very micro level, of course, it puts the government, the PDP-BJP government in the dock.
Yeah.
The NC, by bringing up a bill, would of course be scoring brownie points at this time and putting the government in the dock, where the two coalition partners would have extremely different contrasting views on the issue.
Yes.
And I think, I mean, one needs to ask the National Conference, yes, when it happened in 80s,
yes,
when Jagmohan banned it and it became a huge controversy,
yes,
after that there was a huge long period of calm over the issue, which is when a law could have been brought in and you know, the whole discourse could have been changed.
Yeah.
Which did not happen. Now at another level, I mean, it's not just the government that stands to be threatened, the two coalition partners, there's a possibility of friction between the two coalition partners, and one doesn't know how things will pan out at that level. But also, you know, in recent years, Jammu discourse has always been used as a counter to the Kashmir discourse.
Yeah.
And religion has been used negatively in both the areas.
Yes.
By certain vested interests too.
Yeah.
So there would be elements, I fear, who would provoke the Jammu sentiments the other way.
Yeah, and that's scary. That do we want this issue to become a point of polarization at a time when radicalism is a concern, when there is a very, very palpable simmering tension in Jammu and Kashmir right now. Rashneek, bring in your perspective as a Kashmiri Pandit here. Look, once again, Anuradha, I just want to get Rashneek.
You see, I am Kashmiri Pandits, most Kashmiri Pandits, in fact, I would say most eat meat. I am one of them. I used to eat meat, and I have brought meat thousands of times as a young boy and as a grown up in Kashmir. And as you yourself said, eating meat is not, you know, eating beef is not a part of the Kashmiri culture. Now, we have to understand here whether somebody wants to eat beef or not is a personal choice. But if at all they wanted to, you know, kind of somebody wants to eat and they want to bring a legislation, then they were in power for maybe 30, 35 years. They could have brought this legislation. But Sheikh Abdullah knew that passing such a legislation would be inimical to the interests of the state that he rules. It was always understood that it's a very tricky issue. The very fact that it's called Bakr-Id and not Gai-Eid or Bhans-Eid is a testament that a Bakri was an accepted animal to be slaughtered. Now they slaughter camels also in Kashmir. Last year, sir, allow me to speak. The very fact that, you know, it is commonly slaughtered, and I have eaten a lot of Qurban Maaz, and a lot of Kashmiri Muslims brought Qurban Maaz to our houses. So let them decide whether it is good for them or not. But what really worries me is the cultural aspect of it, that it is changing contours of the cultural aspect, where he is saying that it's my religious freedom. The religion does not. The religion says you have to sacrifice. The Prophet had to slaughter his own son. That was Ishmael. I mean, he did not want to slaughter a camel, and then according to the myth, the camel appeared.
Nasir, you have to explain why this is important, why it's being perceived negatively in the valley, because I'm aware that it is. Let's forget the politics for a moment. I think there are a number of young men that writing on Facebook that we are going to assert our identity now by eating cow meat. Yeah.
No, we have to understand that it is a religious obligation which has been practiced since the time of Prophet Ibrahim.
Beef is not the religious
obligation. It's not something new that has come up now.
No.
See, but just tell me, whatever is permitted in our religion, you can't ban it. See, we are not saying that we'll definitely go for a guy Qurbani on Eid. But the very fact that my religion allows it, it somehow doesn't go well that you're unnecessarily putting a ban now.
Rashneek, quick response, and I want to go back.
If that was the case, and Nasir Sagami has been, you know, associated with this party for long, why did they not do it? The simple point is not about food today. It's clearly about politics. They are, you know, and the worst part of it is they are trying to.
But isn't the petition? But isn't the petition also politics? Let's get me cut to it.
of politics.
petition also.
Otherwise, they had a
I'll
lot
come
of
to that.
opportunity to
This
scrap
man,
this
when he
law in
petitioned,
earlier
when
times.
he put this petition that time, he was not a law officer with the government of Jammu and Kashmir. He wasn't.
Okay.
So was he rewarded
The
for this
Indian NC
petition?
could have
to be
indicted
filed?
that
between
moment
you and
also in the
PDP,
court.
sir.
Was he
That is
rewarded?
between you and
Was he
PDP.
rewarded
They were so
as a
keen on
first
this.
deputy
Between you and
advocate
PDP.
general
That you
to
degree-
be a petitioner in this PIL?
Sir, that is between you and PDP.
Not that only, they
That is
could have
between you and
intervened.
PDP. But
No,
the
it's
clear
not- it's
point
not- it's
is
not between
that
any of us.
you are trying to outdo a Rashid engineer in this case.
Well, Rashid Engineer is
Here's
also
how,
bringing in
here's how, where do
the-
you get me into this? Just listen to me.
Yeah.
Barkha, let me respond to you. Where do I stand in this? It is a PIL filed by their own Deputy Advocate General.
Yes.
The government has to respond to it. They
Yeah.
have got us into this situation. Where is my role in this? Now that the situation is on hand,
Yeah.
as a premier political party and
Let
an
me get the
opposition
others to
party
respond.
of the
Let
state,
me get the others to
we have to ensure that the sentiments of the people of the state are not hurt in any way.
Arun, let me get you and Rafi to
Barkha,
respond.
political parties
Yeah.
are not supposed to vitiate the atmosphere of the state
You
every
see,
now and
Barkha,
then.
the problem is
The issue-
the problem
So
is
is that
that
the role of the government only?
although we respect all
Ravi sir,
the
is that the role of your government only to vitiate the atmosphere in the state?
No. We are because
can
the
I-
political
can I
parties who are
speak,
not in power, they are only trying to vitiate the atmosphere and create some rucks on one pretext or
you
the
are
other.
not saying.
But don't you
Rafi,
understand? We have bigger
Rafi,
issues which
Rafi,
can be
Rafi,
dealt where you can help us.
Rafi Meer, you are not
Barkha, can you
answering.
please ask him?
Rafi,
Are we a petitioner? Are we a petitioner to this PIL?
but
Please ask him that.
1 minute. Rafi,
No, you are not.
even
If
if
you
you
are
are not
very
a
keen
petitioner, please allow
for
somebody
a
else to
decision,
speak up.
One
for a
minute,
decision in
one
favor
minute,
of the
guys,
people,
1
then you could
minute.
have also participated.
Rafi, my question
You
is
see,
very simple.
Barkha,
Are you-
the problem-
one
problem
minute.
with-
Now 1 minute. Arun ji, 1 minute. Rafi ji, 1 minute. Rafi Saab, the question is this. Is the PDP going to implement what the High Court has, or are you going to support the National Conference and Engineer Rashid if this bill
You
to
see-
change
you
the
see-
law
you see-
comes?
you
Rafi
see
first,
when-
then
when-
Arun.
You see,
Barkha, can I add to your question, please? Then he can respond.
Okay.
Barkha?
Yeah, okay, Nasir, add one line, then they can respond. One line.
Yeah, just one line. Please ask him. We have a situation coming in front of us. Eid is on 25th of September. Their assembly session is the assembly session is on 3rd of October. So on in this Eid, when we, I mean, some people might go for this Gai Qurbani. What are they going
But
to do?
is this
Are they
Gai
going to group all
Qurbani
of them? Are
organic
they-
to what typically is the Qurbani? We'll come to that. Aren't all of you
No,
playing
not at all. But
politics?
they are
According
not-
to me,
they
all
are-
of you
they
are
are-
playing politics.
they
Not
are-
all of you from the petition to this point. But Rafi, please answer the question. Will you back such an ordinance?
But don't you understand? Don't you understand the very question being put to me? They are repeating this is Gai Qurbani. The Eid is not going to be there for the first time, and this ban is not going to be the first time. This is as it was going, and as I earlier I told you that every community is to be respected upon. As you see in the this Maharashtra court intervened only to respect the sentiments of other communities also.
Yes.
What is the hurry? They want a hurried decision so that they can build up some more problems here for the
Okay,
people
Arun
and for
Gupta,
the peaceful citizens
I
of the
think the
state.
embarrassment for the government, or
Yeah.
the awkwardness, let me put it like this, the awkwardness for the government becomes that this petitioner is a law officer previously associated with the BJP. Now, he has said that when I filed the petition, I was not a law officer. But the point is, his name is still on that petition. He's not withdrawn his name, the best I know. Now, forget the petitioner. What are you all going to do?
You see, Barkha, as I have already clarified as far as the petition is concerned, he was not the law officer when it started.
Yes.
But now the situation is when it comes to national conference, let me, put it straight, that national conference today, they are deficit of the issues and all what they want. And at any given time, whatever they find, small, they just start politicizing the whole thing, And this is what they have been doing ever since they are out of the power. Probably they are not, in a habit to accept that they can be also in a situation where they become answerable to the public. And today, unfortunately, problem happening for every small thing, they keep on politicizing so much. With the result, what happens that it damages them much more than they can imagine it to happen.
Okay.
But having said so, I am again very clear on this part that this particular is just a clarification which has been given by the High Court saying that this law is already there and it should be implemented. That's
Okay.
it. But although we respect all the religions, we respect all the faiths, but the fact remains Respecting faiths, respecting religion is one issue, and then law is law, you know. I mean, today we are diverting from the topic. Let's understand that what does the law say and how to implement the law.
So let me put that to Anuradha and Rashnik. Anuradha, given that this was always the law, that's what you're hearing the BJP and the PDP saying. It was always the law. Nobody ever asked for an ordinance ahead of Bakr-Id before. Now you're hearing the National Conference spokesperson saying that somebody may want to do a Gai Qurbani. I personally have never witnessed this happening in Jammu and Kashmir ever over the last 2 decades. What is going on here? No. Is this only politics or is this something else?
No, it's more than politics, but because in culturally, of course, the Kashmiris did not eat beef, but gradually, because beef is economically more viable. And correct me if I'm wrong, you know, there are some Muslims on the panel. What I've heard, according to Quran, on the Bakr-Id, you can sacrifice, you know, there are certain animals that have been prescribed, and I know of cow and camel that are included. So, you know, when it is permissible in Quran, they can use it as a religious pretext also, but yes, the politics is not only one triggered by National Conference. There's this whole politics to it, how the Kashmiris perceive the entire ban.
What
because
is that
it
politics?
has just
Explain
come
that
close
to
on
people.
the heels of...
Anuradha, all of us know Jammu and Kashmir, a lot of our viewers don't. Explain that. Why do they perceive it in a certain way?
Look, there's a general perception in Kashmir that New Delhi is always interfering in the politics of Jammu and Kashmir, that there is this Hindutva policy to saffronize Kashmir, and there is also this tendency to follow a repressive policy in Kashmir. This is the general perception in Kashmir. I'm talking about perception. And this, in this backdrop, the J&K High Court ruling came just on the heels of the controversy in Maharashtra, Rajasthan and Haryana and so on and so forth. So this is being seen as part of a larger game plan.
Okay, I want Rashnik to come in on that. Rashnik, to people who see this as part... Anuradha, let Rashnik come in. Rashnik.
You see, I can name at least, if not more, 20 Muslim saints, Kashmiri Muslim saints who did not eat meat themselves, Bhatmol Sahib, Rishmol Sahib, they did not. Even on their Urs today, for 15 days, you do not cook meat. And Sheikh Nuruddin, who they call the flag bearer or Alamdar-e Kashmir, he forbade eating of meat. Now,
because there is this whole
you see,
Buddhist,
Shaivite,
whatever,
I mean,
historical
there is obviously,
to Jammu
you know,
and Kashmir,
yes, there are many Quranic injections, and there is so much in Hadith and Sunnat, but those are specific to time and the space that we follow. Like in that time, Arabia, a 50 or 60-year-old man could marry a 6-year-old. Do we do that in Kashmir today? Because religion has to go in with contemporary times. And in Kashmir, we have seen there's a huge, they are called Muslim rishis. And they have clearly said that this is not to be done. Killing of animals is... Sheikh Nuruddin even went to the extent of saying, he said, break the swords and make signals out of this. So when you hear Nasir Sughavi
saying this is part of my right to assert my religious identity.
No, then is it a part of his ethnic identity also? What is a part of his ethnic identity in that
That's a good question. That's a good question. Nasir Sughavi, it may be part of your religious identity, but it's not typical of your ethnic background. Ethnically, Kashmiris don't eat.
Ask Rashnik. Hasn't it been a social sanction for all these years?
What do you mean?
I don't want to generalize it. I mean, maybe we're not all beef eaters, but Rashnik will bear me out that there are pockets in the valley where beef was always available even in markets.
Sir, not before. I mean, and I have lived in the area that you live, and I have lived in South Kashmir for quite some time, and not before 89, it wasn't very easily available. Yes, it was available, people did eat, but the proportion of people even today, and I am saying it with, because I stay with a lot of Kashmiri Muslims, I know them, they are my friends, its percentage is so small that its percentage is so small, you cannot say it has social sanction. Yes, people are,
as long as
Mr. Sughavi, please hear me out, I will hear you out. The percentage of such people is so small that, if there is a politics of what Anuradha says, of perception that somebody is trying to, Hinduize, then there is also a counter perception that this is being radicalizing the society in a certain manner which is not ethnic to Kashmir. That is something that I can tell you.
Please respond. Why is this important?
Barkha,
Why is it important? You have to be able to explain why you are seeking to bring this legislation for a law that already exists.
It wasn't important. It wasn't important. The very fact that the judgment has come out now in response to this PIL, that has created this situation. And one more point that I want to make. There are many things which are prohibited in my religion. Consumption of many things is prohibited in my religion. Have we ever once asked you to ban them? Or
That's
stop,
true. That's
consuming
true.
those,
Like liquor is available, and there is a reasonably liberal attitude to it in the valley, and so that's fine, and that's how it should be. And that's an interesting point you make.
Certainly, and
yeah. But therefore, you're saying, Nasir, that it's the timing of it that makes you feel that there's more to it than just enforcing the law.
Not only the timing, then the issue is unnecessarily being raised. Bakr, let me just tell you one more thing. It's not only the timing. These issues are unnecessarily being propped up now. See, they're not only annoying one community in the state. Take example of this the levying of the surcharge on the helicopter tickets to Mata Vaishno Devi. Doesn't that annoy a certain section of the society unnecessarily?
But
what are they trying to do here?
No, but Nasir, aren't you also, you could make the argument that an unnecessary controversy was raked up and this was a non-issue for years, and I would agree with that. But aren't you also contributing to that process with this legislation? Aren't both sides doing the same thing?
You tell me an alternate solution. See, Barkha, please ask Rafi Mir Sahab, he is representing the government.
Yes.
Tell him, ask him to give us an alternate solution to this problem.
Rafi, please respond. Rafi Mir Sahab.
Alternate will definitely come, provided they don't add fuel to the fire. If there is a situation that has arisen, I have earlier also told, then we have worse conditions we are facing. Then what happened to the victims of the flood and many other things? We are already suffered for last 20 years, and all because of National Conference and Coalition. Whole world, Nasir Sahab, please have patience. Whole world, including our Chief Minister, is out on a statement today also that we are going to take all these things on priority. But your prioritizing issue, which is a non-issue in Jammu and Kashmir, in fact.
More time? It's already been 8 months.
We are not discussing flood victims here, but I tell you, this is not a priority issue which you are
doing. It's a very different debate. Let's not mix up issues here.
I didn't bring it up. You brought it up.
Rafi Sahab, what is the position of the PDP?
We have, though we have respect for the court orders, but I am telling you for general public, this is a non-issue.
Non-issue.
This is a this ban is a non-issue. It has been happening here. It has been there. There have been slaughters and many other things. Why make an issue out of this? You see that this will be dealt very properly.
Then I'm sorry. Then we will again. Then I might again reiterate that either they are totally incompetent to handle the situation, and there is a sinister design to this.
Okay.
If he says that
I have to start taking the last comment from Arun, Anuradha and Rashmi.
Then God help them.
Okay, Arun Gupta, how do you disassociate yourself from the fact that it looks like a BJP petition? Because this Deputy Advocate General is from your political stable.
See, I have already clarified twice, Barkha, that saying that when it started, he was not there. He was not part of the BJP.
Yeah.
And then, again, I am saying this as far as the National Conference is concerned.
Yes.
You see, they are doing something which is not there to be done. It's no issue at all.
Well,
I don't know why they are doing something, because they should actually focus on something which is important to be focused. They are focusing on all useless things while they were in government, and today in opposition also they have the same stand. They don't work, neither they work then nor they work today.
One small point.
Okay, one small point, then I have to say,
I have to end. I'm out of time. Then ban is okay. One is there in government, then they want to.
I'm out of time.
Please ask them to clarify it to me. Why was more than half of the town put under curfew, and why did they have to face such a huge law and order situation for last 3 days?
Because this is nothing new. You know it yourself. You have been in the government. Because this
you are the one
such situation can be utilized.
Anuradha and Rashmi get the last word. Anuradha, are we playing with fire here? Are all sides playing with fire here?
Yeah, of course, they're all playing with fire.
Yeah.
Now, we can go on harping about whether the law is right and law has existed. Of
Yeah.
course, it has existed.
Yeah.
But it's an old law which was there in place when there was a Hindu monarch ruling the state.
Yes.
Now, things have changed. We are a free-thinking society, we are a secular, democratic country, and we should have a free choice to what we eat, to what we wear. I mean, tomorrow I would not like to be told what I should have the right to wear what I want to wear or eat what I want to wear, and you have no business being offended.
Last word to Rashmi, very quickly. Ma'am, sorry, I'm out of time. Yeah.
I have only this thing to say that even if they want to, let us say, remove, there could have been a more propitious time, and they could do it not in the way that they are going about.
We'll have to leave it there. Somehow it's just one more context for tension between the regions within the valley, and that's what's I would say ominous at this point, and I hope political parties on all sides will pay close attention to that. Rashmi Kher, Anuradha Bhasin, Arun Gupta, Nasir Sugami, and of course Rafi Ahmed Mir, thank you so much for joining us on the buck stops here. We're taking a quick break. On the other side, a controversial Rajasthan circular makes it look like if you are a Muslim employee in a college in Rajasthan, you will have to work even on Bakr-Id. Why is that? That's coming up in a moment from now. You're watching the buck stops here, and another big political debate tonight. Controversy in Rajasthan after an education ministry circular asks for blood donation camps to be organized on the 25th of this month to coincide with Deen Dayal Upadhyay's birthday. Nothing in that would be problematic except that the day coincides also with Eid, which means that those who are employed in these colleges, who are government employees, who are wanting to celebrate Eid, may not be able to celebrate their festival. Of course, when questioned, the education minister said that if Muslims wanted to take the day off, they would be allowed to do so, and attendance would not be compulsory. But the larger question becomes, why choose a holiday like Eid to actually organize the blood donation camp? Could Deen Dayal Upadhyay's birthday have been marked, for example, on the eve of Eid, as was done for Teachers' Day and Janmashtami earlier this month? Let's introduce our panel this evening. Joining us from the BJP is Sambit Patra. Joining us from the Congress is Rita Bahuguna Joshi. With me in the studio is Professor Rakesh Sinha, historian and RSS ideologue. Also joining me is Shahid Siddiqui, editor, Nayi Dunya. Shahid, let me start with you. What do you make of this? We now have the education minister saying it's not compulsory, but this is the same controversy we saw with the Good Governance Day sort of fiasco that took place. Then again, the government actually had to withdraw that circular. Do you believe it's enough to say that it is not compulsory and any Muslim employee who wants to take off will be allowed to do so, or do you believe the symbolism in itself is a problem?
Barkha, these are unnecessary controversies, better to be avoided at a time when, you know, feelings are being aroused on every side, and especially with Muslims when there are forces which are trying to drive them into a particular direction, and people like us are fighting those forces, and we have to fight to make our society, our country a much better place. And it's a noble cause. Have a blood donation camp, have it a day earlier or have it a day later. Why unnecessarily have it on the day of Bakr-Id, as you said was done at the time of Janmashtami and Teachers' Day? So, and we do it all the time. Whenever we have our birthday and we think that a holiday will suit everybody, we shift it a day or two to invite friends.
You're saying, Shahid, that this is actually helping extreme voices in the Muslim community, these kind of controversies. They're making them stronger.
Not in the Muslim community. In Muslim community, there are no extreme voices, but there are global extreme voices which are trying to, you know, provoke some people here, and there is a very small minuscule minority which is trying to exploit these issues, and there are political forces within the country which are trying to exploit these issues and tell the Muslims that, look, you are being, you know, pushed into a corner, and if those forces, you know, succeed, then it will be extremely bad and dangerous for every one of us.
Sambit Patra, why this controversy? Why do you want issues like this to be the tags attached to the BJP, one after the other? Why is this happening? Why would you just not organize this blood donation camp a day earlier or a day later?
Barkha, you have to understand the genesis of this whole program. Number one, when this program was decided approximately months back, if I'm right, on 3rd of August 2015, then the dates of Bakr-Id in fact had not been decided. If I am right, with my little knowledge about Islam, even today the date of Bakr-Id is not absolutely decided. It may be 24th, it may be 25th, depending on the sighting of the crescent moon. Yes, I think Mr. Siddiqui can correct me if I am wrong. Secondly, we have to get into the basics as to why this program was initiated. The program was initiated with the view of the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, who desires that no one in Rajasthan should die because of dearth of blood. There should be plenty of blood in the hospitals of
we're all saying the blood donation camp is a fine thought. Nothing to oppose in that.
I know that.
But the point is, does it have to be on a national, on a gazetted holiday? Shahid, the point being made that we could not have predicted when Eid was.
No, I have not completed myself. Let me complete myself, and thereafter you can please go to Shahid. See, what I mean to say is, now that the dates of Bakr-Id has not even been decided, I think this whole circular may be open to amendment, though I'm not committing anything. It may be open to amendment. Why do we start exploiting the whole issue? As rightly pointed out by Mr. Siddiqui right now, that there is a whole agenda driving force in this country.
I know. I think
which immediately jumps into the bandwagon, try to exploit the situation over here.
Okay, Rita Bahuguna Joshi, the point being made is that this is not an issue on which anybody should play politics, because what's at stake is much higher than that. What is the Congress position on this?
Well, you see, the intention of a government is seen by the acts of the government. In the past 15-16 months, how many things have happened? You first converted the Christmas into a good governance day, then Surya Namaskar, then Vande Mataram, then Batra school books, and then meat ban, and now this blood donation day. I mean, what is the intention? Normally, I would have said it's an unfortunate decision, and some way is saying, okay, they may withdraw it. But it is a deliberate attempt to subvert and to create divisiveness amongst the society. They want to subvert the idea that we are a multi-religious country.
Let me get Professor Rakesh Sinha.
Every religion has
Professor Rakesh Sinha,
its festivals.
Many things
it is unfortunate that they're doing this.
Yeah, let me get Rakesh Sinha to respond to this. Rakesh Sinha, बहुत कुछ हो रहा है RSS के नाम में, संघ के नाम में. You know, महेश शर्मा के साथ you were on a program with me last week. वो cultural pollution की बात कर रहे थे. अब वो दीनदयाल उपाध्याय जी के जन्मदिन की बात होती है तो blood donation. Is it necessary to have it on the same day as Eid?
First of all, I will like to comment on Rita Bahuna's remark. She has clubbed together even the Vande Mataram and yoga. While the entire country has consensus that yoga has nothing to do with any ideology, any religion. Entire world is accepting yoga day, and she is clubbing. And Vande Mataram, this is the aberration of secularism which BJP government or RSS wants to correct. But here I would like to comment that while taking decision, every government should think that it should not cultivate illiberal image.
Yes.
Your intention is good, blood donation.
Yes.
And I agree with Sambit Patra that date was not decided. So Deendayal Upadhyay's date of birth is
a fixed date.
Fixed date.
Yes.
This year, the government is celebrating the centenary year of Deendayal Upadhyay, just like Jawaharlal Nehru's centenary, other government.
But Rakesh ji.
So I'm completing here. So government decided a blood donation camp. I just talked to Education Minister. Because we belong to a liberal democratic society. In liberal democratic society, every religion has its own place. And Hinduism or RSS don't disrespect any religion and the right of any religion to celebrate its festivals. What
but you have your culture minister saying that the Bible and the Quran are not
one question.
Rita, let me complete.
One question.
Just I
why
talk.
the government
Rita,
schools
let
and
me complete.
colleges?
Let me
Why
complete.
the government
Education
schools and
minister
colleges?
told me that it is not compulsory. There is a blood donation camp. It is completely voluntarily act. Anybody wants to.
But do you believe that now that Rita ji, 1 minute? Do you believe the circular should be changed now that if we have
look, this is a democratic society. Government intention is not at all to disturb any community. And in Rajasthan, there are 9% Muslim population is there. If they feel that it is, I think that it is not hurting the Muslims. Muslims are not getting hurt by this blood donation camp. This is a noble cause on the noble day.
No. Of course, the blood donation camp is not hurting it, but it doesn't have to be on Eid.
This is administrative decision, and I think if administrative decision.
Rita, what's your question for Rakesh Sinha? Rita, quickly, then I want to go to Shahid and Sambit. Rita?
My question is, why should it become a government program in government schools and colleges? Blood donation can be organized.
Why not?
Why
not?
Rita ji, I'm telling you.
They have such a huge. No, because you want to prove it that your government is run by Nagpur. You want to prove it that RSS.
No, let me come in. I want to answer this. I want to answer this question.
Rita ji, it is not run by any 10 Janpat. Rita ji, let me complete.
You have BJP units. You could have done it outside.
Let me come
it is a social program.
Why? I'll answer that.
There is nothing wrong. Have blood donation camp. Congress can't utilize such. Congress can't do such noble. They can celebrate Rajiv Gandhi's birth centenary. They can celebrate Jawaharlal Nehru. Can't celebrate Deen Upadhyay.
Okay, Sambit Patra, and Shahid Siddiqui. Sambit Patra. Rita Bahuguna ji, please.
If only you ask Rita Bahuguna Joshi ji to be quiet, we can answer.
Sambit, the question is this. 1 minute now, please. Rita ji, please, I'll come back to you. You made your point. You made your point. Now, Sambit Patra. Now we have the circular. We also have the dates. If the dates collide, people did see how that was adjusted for Janmashtami and Teachers' Day. Can the same thing be done here, Sambit? It's a very small thing. कोई तो ये नहीं कह रहा कि blood donation camp आप मत करिए, आप मत commemorate करिए दीनदयाल उपाध्याय जी का जन्मदिन. We are not saying that.
See, two things. Number one, as I told you, everything in this world is open to amendment for a liberal government.
Yes.
Secondly, the dates of Bakr-Id as yet has not been decided. It may be on 24th, it may be on 25th, depending on the sighting of the moon. But the birth anniversary of Deen Dayal Upadhyay Ji is a fixed day. And
but
remember,
both of the days on which, Sambit, I must correct you. As far as I know, maybe Shahid can correct me, Eid will either be on the 24th or the 25th. And the circular says that both of those days are required to work for the blood donation camp. So, वो दोनों ही दिन problem है.
I'll tell you one thing. Barkha, stand corrected. The circular has also been amended, in which it has been said that it is absolutely voluntary.
Yes.
And let me give you some figures.
But that was not the case earlier in the
Number one,
circular.
Initially, just a second, Barkha, what is this? Initially, the aim of the state was to gather 1 lakh blood unit. The state has 20 lakh students in the colleges. But later the state came to learn that there are only 21,000.
Why isn't your organization donating blood?
College, ma'am, please do your homework and come. Please come, do your homework and come. College, mature adults study in college.
No, you do your homework.
She doesn't know anything, she comes for the debate. Ill prepared.
You're not supposed to.
Just a second, ma'am, don't interject. I'm keeping the government facts over here. Number one, then the Barkha, can you ask Rita to please be quiet for a while?
Make your point.
Then the government came to learn that only 21,000 units of blood can in fact be put in the storage of the government units. That's the reason as to why only 21,000 approximately blood donations would be made that day. Rest of the people voluntarily, rest of the students voluntarily can come and write down a sankalp patra. You know that, well, yes, they may in the future donate blood. So only 21,000 volunteer donation. So how does it hurt anyone? How does it hurt anyone?
That's not the issue. Shahid Siddiqui, what is the issue here? We must come back to what the issue is. Rita ji, 1 minute. Now Shahid Siddiqui has to speak.
And pracharaks to donate blood outside.
Okay, Shahid Siddiqui. Shahid.
Barkha, Sambit is right that it will be 10 days before Bakr-Id that we will come to know which day Bakr-Id will be, either on 24th or 25th.
Yes.
Now, the camp has been organized for 2 days.
Yes.
So, what they can do is that they can have it for 1 day, either on 24th or on 25th.
Yes.
If the Bakr-Id is on 25th, they can have the camp on 24th.
Yes.
If the Bakr-Id is on 24th, they can have the camp on 25th. They will have 10 days to work on it.
Yes.
So, I don't think there should be any problem with that. So let's be liberal, let's be open, let's give the confidence to the minorities, especially to the Muslims, that this government is as concerned and as sensitive to their problems and issues and their concerns and their festivals as any other government has been. And let the criticism which is coming from their so-called secular lobby fail. Now, if that criticism is, and otherwise it sticks.
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Convince the minorities that they are in danger, their religion, their culture is in danger, which is wrong.
You know, the point is that many things are happening together. Maharashtra meat ban controversy, Mahesh Sharma's comments you have seen on this show, Rajasthan, this is happening, Christmas, good governance. So, एक impression बन जाता है that minorities are being treated differently under this government. Now, is it such a big thing अगर आप एक दिन इधर-उधर blood donation camp कर दें?
The question is here that if blood donation camp is 2 hours job, it is not a whole day job.
Yes.
It is let me make it clear that employees are not compulsory to attend the blood donation camp. If they want to come,
they can. No. जब circular पहले आया था तो 24 को सबका छुट्टी कैसे?
Look, in a democratic society,
there is a gazetted holiday. Let there be a holiday on the day of Eid. Why do you want anybody to
there
come
is
to
a
school
gazetted
on that
holiday.
day?
You do so many work. It doesn't mean that in gazetted holiday you sit in the home as idle. First thing that the intention of the government or any ideology or party is not to insult any religion or not to curb or censor any festival. No question arises. In India, the no question arises. It will never happen. It never happened. It is not happening. It will never happen. As far as ideology is concerned, it is not an ideological program at all. It is administrative decision of the government.
But should it happen on a gazetted holiday?
And as the government party,
should it happen on a
as
gazetted
the government
holiday?
party spokesman already made it clear that it is subject to amendment.
It is subject to amendment.
If the ruling party spokesman is saying on the TV channel, it is subject
Why
to
does it
amendment.
happen again
So
and again on a holiday, gazetted holiday of minorities?
Sahid, I accept your concern.
Why this coincidence?
I know your concern, but here is that. If Deen Dayal Upadhyay's centenary celebration is organized with a blood donation camp, this is a holy and noble cause. We want to not take it as anti-religion, anti-Islam. In Islam,
I think Muslims should organize blood donation camps on the day before or day after. Muslims should go ahead.
You take it other way that on the day of
donate blood. I will welcome and I will request the Muslims of Rajasthan to donate blood.
1 minute. Shahid Siddiqui, are you saying
Rakesh bhai, change the date and the Muslims will come in a big way to donate blood.
Shahid, 1 minute. Very interesting point you're making. You're saying that Muslims should offer to organize blood donation camp a day before or after Eid for Deen Dayal Upadhyay, who may not see as an ideological affinity with, but you're saying karna chahiye, that their gesture of goodwill should be that.
No. Deen Dayal Upadhyay, as far as I know, was one of the most liberal leaders of BJP. I regard him as more ideologically a congressman than anything else. He was more of socialist, and he was one of the finest BJP leaders. So I have great respect for him.
In his last speech in Calicut, he was the person who gave the theory of Indianization of Islam and said Muhammadi Hindu and Christian Hindu or the Christian, they are of the same patronage, same link, and we have this common heritage. Common legacy. So I think that Muslims should participate. And
but what if it's on Eid? The point is, why does it have to be on Eid?
The date of Eid was not decided. The date of Eid was not decided.
But now we know. Now we know.
So it is the subject amendment in democratic society.
It will be decided 10 days before Bakr-Id. It will be decided by 15.
It is a centenary celebration.
Yes.
To be, please. It is a centenary celebration to be carried out for 12 months. It is not necessary to cancel a government holiday related to the festival of minority.
No one is cancelling a government holiday.
Please.
Who is cancelling a government holiday?
A ruling opposition party.
No, but you can do it on another day.
Who
you can do it on another day.
Who said?
Why cancel?
You are opposing yoga.
Why
you are opposing Vande Mataram. You are opposing Vande Mataram. What ground do you say that Vande Mataram is wrong? It is
I am not saying this.
You said
are making it compulsory.
You told just now that Vande Mataram and yoga.
You cannot impose. You cannot impose the religious rights of one community on another.
This is the Congress.
Neither can the Muslims do, nor can the Hindus do. They should be allowed. Don't talk about Congress.
Okay, this is
you are a polarizing impact on the society.
Sambit,
you can do it on any other day, but you will not do it.
Can we stop fighting over here?
Sambit, the question is this. It's coming in a context. The context is problematic. The context is problematic because Mr. Mahesh Sharma on the buck stops here says, I'm going to end cultural pollution. I'm going to end westernization. On Christmas, you have good governance. You have even the Chief Justice organizing a conference that one of the judges, Justice Kurian, then says, I will not attend. Then you have Janmashtami and Teachers' Day very amicably sorted out. Prime Minister Modi himself addresses an event one day before Teachers' Day so schools can shut for Janmashtami. Why can't we do the same here? Is it that much to expect, Sambit?
In fact, the complete decision is yet awaited. As I told you, and in fact, Mr. Siddiqui rightly pointed out that the dates have not been decided. But we have started fighting well before even the date of Bakr-Id is decided.
You are saying
that shows, that, just a second, just a second. That shows that there is a sense of perverted secularism, you know, the perverted secularism, where we start speaking out of the turn.
You may not know, Sambit, you may not be aware, but Rajasthan's education minister, when asked about the circular today, said that if somebody wants to take chutti on Bakr-Id, they can, but hamara blood donation camp 25 ko hi rahega. He is not allowing for an amendment. This is the education minister on record, on camera.
No, let the date of Bakr-Id come first.
25th and not, he has said this. He has said कि वो camp उसी दिन रहेगा.
So Bakr-Id is voluntarily, it is not compulsory. If you want to come,
as I pointed out, it is absolutely a volunteer event. It's a volunteer event. 21,000 units have to be collected.
My question is, how come the blood donation camp disturbs?
Shahid, answer that. How does the blood donation camp disturb Eid? Is it symbolic or is it literal? The disquiet?
No. It won't. I agree. It won't disturb Bakr-Id. And in Islam, most of the festivals are for praying. There is no festivities at all. It's a 1 hour, 2 hours business when they go to the mosque or they go for the Qurbani. I agree with that. But we go by public perception, public sentiments, and we live in India, not in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
And in India, we celebrate all festivals for 3-4 days.
Yes.
Whether it's a Diwali or it's Holi or it's Eid.
And
we are Indians, we love to celebrate. We are not Saudis. We are not Saudis. So don't treat us as Saudi Muslims, we treat us as Indian Muslims.
Yes. One line.
I think that's a very good point. Rakesh ji, आप ये ना समझिए कि सिर्फ मुसलमान ही ईद में छुट्टी चाहते हैं. हम भी जाते हैं अपने दोस्तों के घर.
A person to donate blood, it takes hardly 10 to 15 minutes. If you want to come and devote 15 minutes for the noble cause, it is not the cause for the RSS, not the cause for the Hindutva. It is cause for the humanity. It is cause for the people.
Okay, I have to end. I'll allow Shahid a quick response to that. Shahid, I have to end. Shahid, you get the last word.
It's a full day activity.
Shahid.
Hundreds of people will be donating blood.
How do you know? It take 10-15 minutes, but if the
how do you know it's a full day activity?
Because
I donated blood 15 times.
And
blood.
We celebrated our festivals together, Hindus and Muslims. I want a holiday for every Hindu. I want every Hindu to come to my house to celebrate, to be part of the holiday and part of the celebration. I don't want it only for Muslims. Eid is not only for Muslims. Eid is for everybody. Christmas is for everybody. So I want my Hindu friends to come to my house.
Yes.
I don't want only Muslims to do it.
So if
my colleagues in the school who are my friends and want to come and have biryani in my house, I will love to have.
Sahid, we don't disagree
so
that.
Why should they be busy organizing the camp?
We don't disagree that we should visit mosque, they should visit temples. That they should be. We want that आवाजाही जाना होना चाहिए दोनों में. It should not be one-way traffic. But at the same time, I say, if you come and donate blood and go to celebrate Eid, I think the noble cause is doubled. You get.
But Rakesh ji, it is much more about the symbolism कि एक इतने बरसों से एक जो gazetted holiday चल रहा है, उसी ही दिन क्योंकि जन्माष्टमी और Teachers Day पे हमने देखा कि ये कैसे adjust हो सकता है.
Look, this is 25th. It is a birthday, and the government is celebrating in a way of blood donation without any making it compulsory.
Yeah.
We should not take it in a contemptuous way for any religion or any festival. It is not a contempt at all.
Shahid, very quickly. Shahid, very quickly. A number of people may say if you could adjust for Teachers Day and Janmashtami, why not for this? Shahid, last word. Shahid,
and minoritism.
Shahid.
I'm unable to get your question, Barkha. Can you repeat it?
I'm saying people will say the adjustment was made for Teachers Day and Janmashtami, so why not for Eid and this blood donation camp?
Yes, Muslims may not ask this question, but politicians will ask this question, the media will ask this question, and then Muslims will feel that they are being targeted, of course.
This
perception is more dangerous.
I'll answer that. I will answer that.
Don't bother about it.
I will have to say goodbye to all of you now.
Secularism must be substantive, and that substantive secularism is not based on symbolism.
Sambit Patra, Rakesh Sinha, and Rita Bahuguna Joshi and Shahid Siddiqui.
No, Rakesh ji, in society and politics,
Barkha, remember that as far as blood donation is concerned, it is volunteer and only 21,000
I care for your sentiments on beef. I care for your sentiments.
But there is a symbolism here. There is a symbolism. I don't think anybody has a problem. Okay, I'm going to take the last word for myself. I don't think anybody has a problem, Hindu or Muslim, with the noble thing as a blood donation camp, and there you are right, Rakesh ji, but there is a larger symbolism attached to a decision that, as Sambit Patra says, could be amended right now. The Rajasthan Education Minister is saying no. Watch that space to see if he sticks to that. Shahid Siddiqui, Professor Rakesh Sinha, Sambit Patra, Rita Bahuguna Joshi, thank you so much for joining us on the Buck Stops here, and that's it on the program tonight. See you tomorrow night at 9 p.m.